Hello, guys. Yes, I am finally back with doing another video, another one of these videos. And yes, it is going to be a very special one, so hang tight for this one. So, I finally heard that on Twitter, Boomerang changed their schedule once again. And once I took a look at it, I was pretty surprised. Yes, it was surprising. You guys are going to really love this, and probably can't wait to hear my opinions on this, because this actually surprised me. So, yeah, I'm gonna start right now because I really got nothing else to say. I'm sure when I look through this, I will have some things to discuss. So, without any further delays, let's get started with the schedule. So, my TV finally confirmed it, and now I'll be showing you what they have. So let's start off with weekdays. So as you can see here, we have an hour of Codename Kids Next Door, an hour of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, an hour of Looney Tunes. Yep, all those still remain. 2 hours of a Looney Tunes show, and this is already when the surprises come in. Well, Tom and Jerry Tales, yep, it's here, and it moved up. Remember, there was another show that took its spot? Scooby-Doo and Guess Who? Yep. This was unexpected to me. I didn't want the show to be taken off, but it didn't belong to the network, so it's okay. It's fine. Now, after this, it's what's going to surprise you. This is where the changes come in. We have Tom and Jerry Kids and Baby Looney Tunes. Both of those shows returned to Boomerang after a while, but it's pretty weird how they're airing for 30 minutes each and not for an hour like the other shows. It's pretty strange, but hey, I'll take anything. Then after this, we have an hour of A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. That returned after a while, so that's great to see it on there again. And yes, it took out an hour of Tom and Jerry, which is great to see. So we have 2 hours of Tom and Jerry, 2 hours of Looney Tunes, which is nice. Then we have the Tom and Jerry show for 2 hours. We got Wabbit for an hour. And take a look what's after Wabbit. You're probably thinking it's another hour, right? Well, guess what? Boom! We have the Yogi Bear Show back on its home on Boomerang. How amazing! I know. Another new hour replaced by a classic hour, and it's another show too. How awesome! Michael Whelan is really starting to change up Boomerang now, but this isn't the only change. And before too, we have another change coming up. Bear with me. So after the movie, since Scooby-Doo and Guess Who is now taken off, the Flintstones is now taking over movie filler, which is nice. Even, well, if it's a classic movie, old movie, or new movie or not, whatever movie it is and whichever era it's from, they're still airing a classic after it. How amazing. So after an hour of the Flintstones and this extra half hour for movie filler, if the movie's 2 hours, then it would obviously be removed. But hey, at least we still have an hour of it. After the Flintstones, we have the Jetsons! The Jetsons! One of the shows I really wanted to return to Boomerang is back on Boomerang. Oh my god. I mean, it makes sense too. Like, if you were to bring back the Flintstones, of course you would have to bring back the Jetsons. Both shows aren't really relatable to each other, but it's sort of related, so it makes sense. Then after the Jetsons, we get an hour of Tom and Jerry, an hour of Looney Tunes, so they've been shrunken down to an hour. That's cool. That's what I wanted. Then we have Popeye, Powerpuff Girls, same old programming. Now before I actually show you Friday's schedule, yes, they actually have a small change on Friday that I'd like to point out. Let's show you the weekend schedule. So let's go back right over. Yeah, that works. So we got the Powerpuff Girls, Popeye, Looney Tunes for an hour, the Looney Tunes show, Tom and Jerry Tales. Basically the same old stuff here. Then look here. You're probably thinking, oh no, did What's New Scooby-Doo get taken off? You'll see in a little bit. But after the Tom and Jerry show, we get moved up the Sylvester and Tweety Mystery, so that show still remains on weekends. Then we have Wabbit for an hour. What's New Scooby Doo? See, so it didn't get removed, it just got pushed back down to a later time, which is fine with me. At least it's still airing, at least they didn't remove it. Then after that, you get the original Scooby Doo, Scooby Doo or Are You? Then the Flintstones remains at this slot. Tom and Jerry for 2 hours. Still haven't fixed that. I don't know why. This TV just loves making mistakes. Looney Tunes still technically has 2 hours. Then you get the same old shows around this time. Same old stuff. Yeah, no need to mention it. Now, before I show you how I would improve the schedule, and trust me, there isn't many changes I want to do because Boomerang is pretty much near perfect here. They almost have my requests all solved and figured out. I'm gonna show you Friday's schedule, but just for a brief hint because it's only a very minor change. So only today has been available, unfortunately, so I can't go on to the other next week for now, but I'm pretty sure they'll confirm it later on down the line. So, oh yeah, you're wondering why I have it zoomed in like this? Well, I want to make it more suspenseful and surprising. So, Yogi Bear still airs, but look at this. What? There's another slot? What happened to the movie, you're probably asking? Well, you'll see. So after Yogi Bear, we get Wacky Races. Wacky Races! So Dastardly and Muttley are back on Boomerang. Look at that. See, Michael Whelan knows just what belongs to Boomerang. He knows it. He knows it. Unlike other people like Christina Miller and Tom Aschheim. Well, Tom Aschheim knew what belonged to Boomerang, but he wouldn't bring back classics. He would just like put on new shows that didn't belong to a network mostly. Sometimes he put on classics, but it's not like an everyday thing. But look at Michael Whelan. He's definitely improving. So we have 90 minutes of Wacky Races, 90 minutes of the Flintstones, and 90 minutes of the Jetsons. The Jetsons. Yep, so just like with weekends, Weekdays also doesn't have movies. Now, I was surprised how they were actually able to take down the movie just to air more classics. But hey, this is Boomerang for a reason, so you have to air classics. It's fine. It's totally fine with me. So that's basically the only change there. Now, this is what a lot of you have been waiting for. Well, I do this all the time nowadays, so yeah, it's fine. Here's how I would actually change the schedule. Now, I'm going to start off with weekends this time, because although they are changing Boomerang drastically right now, even though they're pretty small changes, there's still some things I would still love for them to get right. So, the Powerpuff Girls remains here. That's okay if that stays. Popeye can stay here, although it'd be cooler if they moved it up, like how they did with Weekdays. But, yeah. Looney Tunes? Okay. This hour? I think it'd be cooler if they were put in another classic Cartoon Network show. There is something about classic Cartoon Network shows I like to mention later, so after I'm done with this, I like to talk about it. But I would like for them to replace this with something like Ed, Edd n Eddy, or Billy and Mandy, or Billy and Mandy, or Courage the Cowardly Dog, or Dexter's Laboratory, something like that. Replace that with that. 2 hours of the Looney Tunes show. One of this, I'd like for them to replace with another one of those shows. Another hour can remain. Same with Tom and Jerry Tales. You can probably put in another classic Cartoon Network show and keep the other hour. Then these hours of Tom and Jerry. Oh boy. One hour I think should be replaced with a pup named Scooby-Doo. Like, 3 Scooby-Doo shows spamming on or airing on Boomerang isn't so bad. Like, it's not too bad. It's okay if you have like 3 hours, 3 shows. Just don't have it spam throughout the entire network, unless it's a Halloween special or whatever. So they can replace this hour or something. These 2 hours of Looney Tunes can remain here. I'm okay with those. The Tom and Jerry Show. Oh, that's right. I mentioned all this can stay, and it still can. Like, Even though it's a mix of new and old shows, like it's still a variety of 6 shows. So I like this right here. They can keep this. Okay, 2 hours of Tom and Jerry. They could replace this with something like the Jetsons and Yogi Bear or something. Looney Tunes, Jones. Maybe they could do. Um, I don't know really. Maybe you could do like Huckleberry Hound or something, or like uh, what are some other classics on Boomerang, guys? Like, there's still some classics that are missing. Oh, how about Two Stupid Dogs or Magilla Gorilla or something like that? That'd be nice. Then you can have these shows. It's basically like the weekday classic Cartoon Network block, but Ben 10 replaces Foster's Home. That's pretty weird if you ask me. Alright, now for weekdays. Now, weekdays actually don't need too many changes. So, Kids Next Door and Foster's Home can remain here if you like. This hour of Looney Tunes, replace it with Ed, Edd, and Eddy. That'd be nice. Then, this here. Okay, for mine, it's going to be a little bit confusing for you guys, so please bear with me. So, one of these hours of Looney Tunes show, I have been thinking this for a long time now. What if they can replace this, an hour of it, and give Tom and Jerry Kids and Baby Looney Tunes an extra half hour? Like I said, it's pretty weird for them to air for only half an hour, so it would make sense to make them an hour. Just like with the other shows. That's great how they're back, but only for half an hour? Come on, Michael Whelan, you can fix it. This can stay, though. This can stay, obviously. This was a good change. 2 hours of Tom and Jerry and 2 hours of Looney Tunes. This could actually stay. Like, 2 hours is still a long time, but I really love what time they're airing at. Tom and Jerry from 8 to 10, Looney Tunes from 10 to 12. This is perfect. Then for these 2 hours of the Tom and Jerry show, well, if they don't want to replace the Looney Tunes show with Tom and Jerry Kids and Baby Looney Tunes, they could replace an hour of the Tom and Jerry show. And then for another hour of whatever show they decide to do, they can just replace that with another classic, maybe like Magilla Gorilla or Huckleberry Hound, like I mentioned earlier. This hour of Wabbit can stay, obviously. Also, interestingly enough, I forgot to mention this, but on Friday, they're actually going to take the show off entirely within those classics. Wow. So I guess they can get away with taking new shows off of Boomerang. And that it rightfully so, well deserved and makes sense because these shows have no purpose to be on Boomerang. This show can stay, obviously. The movies can stay, but air older ones, please, because the newer ones make no sense. Flintstones has to stay. The Jetsons have to stay. Now, an hour of Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes? Well, in my opinion, I think having like 3 hours of both shows is alright with me. I don't think it's spamful at all to air 3 hours of the classic versions. So with an extra hour of Tom and Jerry here, that can definitely stay if it likes. But an hour of Looney Tunes, well, if that other hour is going to be replaced with another classic Cartoon Network show, and those other 2 hours are going to stay, I guess you can actually keep this. So I think within the classic Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes, they're basically safe to keep, but they have to replace another hour of Looney Tunes. After that, they're in good shape. And then Popeye has its slots here. And then the Powerpuff Girls. Both of those can stay, obviously. Wow. But one thing I like to mention here is that I freaking love how after the movie, they basically just air classic, like Hanna-Barbera and old shows from back in the day. So, like I said, the Flintstones, Jetsons, Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, and Popeye. And I actually noticed this morning, guys. Like, I remembered... Oh my god. Sorry, guys. I remember, like, back in... Remember Cartoon Network's 20th anniversary when they had that Cartoon Planet thing? In the order of shows Brack mentioned, it was these. So, well, the only difference being is that Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes are swapped around. But if they re-swap those, then it's basically the same thing. So it's like... When they started, they had the Flintstones, the Jetsons, Looney Tunes, and Tom and Jerry, and pop by, and yeah, that did Michael Whelan get that order from Cartoon Network's 20th birthday? I wonder. Okay, so I'm basically done with Boomerang, but I'm not done yet. I'm gonna do something else. So let's go up. Wait a minute. Let's go ahead and go to Cartoon Network from 6 to 8, because I have something interesting I like to mention. So, I heard on Twitter, yes, if you guys don't know already, I get all this information from Twitter, which is why I don't like you guys telling me, oh, look, Boomerang changed your schedule. You guys don't need to do that. Seriously. I check Twitter pretty much all the time, so no need to tell me that. So, basically, Cartoon Network, well, they're gonna lose 6 p.m. because of Adult Swim. As bad as that is, we are going to get a new block. Now, before I tell you the block, when I thought, my thoughts on Cartoon Network losing 7 p.m. to Adult Swim, that was okay. I thought it was okay, but them taking 6 p.m. too, I think it's a little bit too far. I mean, it's definitely going to remind me back in the day when Noggin was back on TV in the late 90s, early 2000s, and all that. It was only on from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then the N, which is now T-Nick, which their schedule's god awful nowadays. They're on from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So it's kind of like that. Now, what they're actually going to be doing within the Checkered Past block, yeah, that's the name of it, Checkered Past. They're going to be airing older Cartoon Network shows on their channel during Adult Swim's times. Now, it's still unconfirmed how long it's going to be for, but it is going to be at 6 p.m. So if they air it till like 9 or 10 p.m., then that'd be awesome. Or how about 11 p.m.? That'd be a little bit better because, okay. So for example, Boomerang currently has Powerpuff Girls, Codenames Next Door, and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends going on weekdays from 11 to 2 from where I live. So, what if, let's say, if you had a 5-hour block of classic shows, each show would be on for an hour. Let's say from 6 to 7, you'd have Ed, Ed and Eddie. 7 to 8, you have Dexter's Laboratory. 8 to 9, you'd have Courage the Cowardly Dog. From 9 to 10, you'd have The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Then from 10 to 11, you can have Johnny Bravo. And then right after those, technically the block extends and continues on Boomerang for an extra 3 hours thanks to these 3 shows. So even though it would be like a 5-hour block on Cartoon Network, technically you're getting an extra 3 hours because of Boomerang. That's pretty neat. Yup. So, if they actually decide to do that decision, then that'd be dope. I'd love it. But it's still unconfirmed how long the block would be. Still, that is a great decision to do. Because people have been clamoring for the past 5 frickin' years now that they would want to see old shows back on Cartoon Network. And although they have been doing that some part of the times, the past couple years, that was only very limited. So I hope this stays. If it's actually a 2-hour block with 4 different shows, technically speaking, they're taking inspirations from Tom Aschheim. Well, even though he's fired now, technically they're still taking inspirations from Tom Aschheim because they're still doing the whole side credits thing. To me, in my opinion, I'm not big of a fan of the whole side credits. I don't really like that so much. I'm so used to the credits airing on live TV. I remembered when Tom Aschheim was still president, when he was still around working at Cartoon Network. When he was showing the credits on Boomerang, I bet it reminded him back when he was the president of Noggin. So, yeah, something like that. But yeah, that's basically all for this video. I did not expect for it to go on to 20 minutes, but it's fine. More Crayar content for you guys. Anyways, thanks for watching, and have a good day. See you guys soon.